I'm Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown, all published by Simon & Schuster Saga Press. Today, we're going to be reviewing Gerald's Game by Stephen King. Oh, whoops. Gosh, dang it. Gerald's Game, Stephen King. I've got the hardcover up here, paperback right here. Hey, let's get right to it, folks. Let's get right to the review. If you've been following my reviews, you know I've been reviewing every Stephen King novel in order of publication. We're to Gerald's Game now, man. We're about almost one-third to halfway through the group, and I've been listening to these books on audible.com. I've been following along in the book as I listen to the audible.com narration. These books were narrated, the Gerald's Game was narrated by a voice actress named Lindsay Krause. She did a pretty good job. No complaints on the voice narration to Gerald's Game. Great book. What's it about? What is Gerald's Game about? It came out at the same time as Dolores Claiborne. They were both published on, I think, the same day, and they both came out as they both tied into each other, and we'll get into that in a little bit, how the books tie into each other. But this book starts out, I think, in one of Stephen King's most unique ways, in that we have a couple, Jesse and Gerald Burlingame. They go on a little holiday up to the lake to stay in a cabin. And Gerald, Jesse just wants to relax, have a nice vacation. Gerald wants to turn it into some kinky, sex party for the whole vacation. And Jesse just ain't into it. And Gerald is but she goes along with it just because she knows it'll make her husband happy. And he likes to do, kinky things, like handcuff her to the bed. And this is where things get weird, right? So the opening scene is she's handcuffed to the bedposts, right? And he's getting all sexy time, And she's just not into it. She doesn't like her husband that much at all. In fact, he kind of creeps her out. And, the thing about it is, I think that in relationships, we sort of get... Oh, I gotta pick that up. Sorry. Oh, it moved. Oh my gosh. You know what? Let's just stop right there. I hope I don't drop it again. If you've been watching my reviews, weird things happen in my reviews where, especially the Stephen King reviews, where the reviews are almost haunted and cursed. Like something goes wrong every time. Like the thing will fall down, stuff will start on fire, lights will fall down, the set will fall down. These Funko Pops, these Motley Crue Funko Pops, they have a mind of their own. The place is haunted. Sometimes the Vince Neil Funko Pop just starts hovering. And I'm telling you, if we can get through this review without anything weird happening or anything supernatural, I will be amazed. And we should all because the shrine that I've made, it was a good idea. I wanted a creepy vibe from my Steve, but I think I've created a portal to hell in my library. But anyway, let's talk about the Gerald's Game anyway. So Gerald's Game starts out, he handcuffs her to the bed, and that's where I got a problem. Because she's stuck to the bed and the bedpost with handcuffs. And if you've been following my reviews, you know that I work at the Utah State Prison. And I deal with handcuffs a lot. So this gal is stuck to the bed with handcuffs. She's not into the sex party. She's just getting more annoyed with her husband and these sexcapades. She doesn't want to be in the handcuffs. She doesn't want to be in bed. She doesn't want to make love to this guy. She's just getting pissed off. And she's getting angry with him. They're starting to argue. And she is laying on the bed, and he's kind of over the top of her, and he kicks her in the balls. Just kicks her in the balls. She kicks him in the balls. See, that's why these reviews are tough. Because I am still just waiting for something to break down or some weird supernatural phenomenon to fly by my face in the middle of this review. And I can't keep it straight. She is sick and tired of him, and she kicks him in the balls really hard. He falls off the bed, cracks his head on the floor, kills him. Gerald is dead. She kicked him in the balls so hard it killed him. And now she's handcuffed to the bed. And that's the basis of the story. That's the plot. That is the entire plot of the story. And I'm telling you, it's one of Stephen King's more unique plots. It's one of his more interesting plots. And I got to tell you that I work at the Utah State Prison. If you've been following my reviews, I work at the Utah State Prison. I do a lot of work there. And I know handcuffs. And I'm telling you, you just don't get handcuffed. You don't let people handcuff you. First of all, don't ever let someone handcuff you, no matter what. And if you are handcuffed, I've been in handcuffs. I've seen people break out of it. They're not that hard to break out of. You can just twist handcuffs just a slight little bit and you will break out of those. So the very premise of this book is kind of fishy to me because I'm like, yeah, she's handcuffed to the bedpost, but she should be able to twist her way out of them. I mean, if you monkey around with handcuffs enough, you will be able to break your way out of them. And so the very premise of this book, I'm scratching my head going, who would get handcuffs stuck to their... I'm telling you, my library is haunted. I do not know where these handcuffs came from. Yeah, okay. Anyway. God, it's fucking ridiculous. Just make sure that I don't get the other one on the other wrist somehow, because then we're in trouble. I know I can break out of these if I try, but I've only, I want to keep this video short. This is not a Houdini act. I don't know where these came from. Like I said, the videos are haunted. She's in handcuffs. She's watching. I gotta regain my thoughts. Like I said, creepy stuff happens in these videos. Creepy stuff. And I'm just like mystified because I don't know where these came from. You saw at the start of the video, they weren't there. Anyway. She's handcuffed to the bed. And as I was saying, you don't let anybody handcuff you to anything. Even if it's somebody you trust. Try not to let that happen. Folks, just try. Let's pretend it didn't happen. So she's handcuffed to the bed. He's dead on the floor. The doors of their cabin are open. And she can start to hear wild dogs outside, sniffing around, like hungry dogs. There's a dead body right next to her. And this is where I got to give Stephen King props, because this is one of the most creepy books he's ever written. I mean, this book is one of the creepy... Damn it. Gosh, dang it. Anyway, what the freaking Christ on my... Okay, this is ridiculous. Okay. Keep dropping shit. Okay. Damn it. Okay. Serenity now. Serenity now. Serenity now. Serenity now. Serenity now. I gotta give Stephen King props. This is one of his creepier books because this lady's handcuffed to the bed. She can't get up. The dogs are starting to come in and eat her dead husband that's laying there next to her. And then she starts to think back about all the creepy things that happened to her with her kids. And it's tied into an eclipse that happened. So, if you read Dolores Claiborne and Gerald's Game together, you know that the books are tied together based off of a lunar eclipse that happened a long time ago when Jesse was a young kid. And we go back in time. Jesse thinks about... This is one of the things about the Stephen King novels. Not a lot of dialogue in it. It's all in Jesse's head. It's all just up in Jesse's head because... she's alone for the entirety of the book. She's by herself, handcuffed to the bed. Handcuffed to the bed, and she's just in her head thinking, watching the dogs eat her dead husband, hoping that they don't start eating her. And when the dogs eat the husband, that is grotesque, some of Stephen King's grosser scenes, right? Just Stephen King outdid himself with the dark, twisted nature of the. I mean, it's just great. And then do you think that's twisted? Jessie starts thinking back and dreaming back and hallucinating back to when she was a kid during this lunar eclipse and stuff that went on with her father and her family and her mother and just weird, creepy things. I mean, this is a real risky book for Stephen King to write. It goes into some dark, dark territory. Probably, I gotta say, his darkest book of all, because of some of the themes he introduced to us when Jessie is a kid along with her father. And I won't get into any more than that. I think you can guess. But, gosh, it's a dark, creepy book. And the dogs just keep eating her dead husband as she's handcuffed to the bed. And you'd think, people can break out of handcuffs. I swear to God, they can break out of handcuffs. If you twist them just the right way, you can snap them. Eight out of 10. Gerald's Game gets an 8 out of 10. I'm going to end this book before I end up in a straitjacket or strapped to the electric chair or a firing squad just comes in here and ends it. 8 out of 10. Every novel I write, I dedicate to Stephen King, Motley Crue, and the Oakland Raiders. They get a shout out. That's why they're in the 8 out of 10. Gerald's Game. Stephen King. One of his more twisted books of all time.